Welcome back, Pokemon trainers, Pokemon breeders, and Pokemon masters alike, like yours truly, Griever, here to bring you guys some more of the GenLocke Challenge, the hardcore GenLocke Challenge, with me, once again, Pokemon Master Griever here, to give you guys a Generation Lock extraordinaire. Now, what is a GenLocke? Once again, we have it right over here. We have basically the definition of it, but we'll go over it one more time since, of course, we're starting a new leg. We've completed the Emerald run, and now we're running into our 4th generation game, and we decided to play Pokemon Pearl. Now, a Generation Lock is, of course, just simply a series of hardcore Nuzlocks. Not necessarily hardcore, but we're doing hardcore Nuzlocke anyways on this channel, so it's a hardcore GenLocke challenge. But suffice it to say, it's multiple Nuzlocke done in a sequence of events. You start from one generation and move your way up, trying to use the same team of greatness, and you get rewards, of course, at the end. And we'll go over that in a minute. But either way, yeah, that's what it is, and we have successfully done 3 games so far. We did Red, which we did pretty much flawlessly at some point. We did Gold, and then we did Emerald as our last run, and now here in 2024, we're starting off with 4th generation Pearl version. So we already did a Diamond run on the channel, which we failed, unfortunately, but hopefully we don't fail the Pearl side of this particular GenLocke, because that would really suck. You know, now we're deep into it. Now we're 4 games in. So yeah, either way, let's check out the rewards we gained from the last leg of the run. Now, I spoke about rewards at the end of each leg, and since we just completed the Emerald run, or Emerald leg of the challenge, the 3rd generation challenge, now we get rewards, or perks, if you would, for the next leg of the run, being Pearl version 4th generation. So, as that happens, we get 1 point for completing the run. So, because we beat Emerald, we didn't lose the Nuzlocke, we get 1 point to spend. And if you do an Elite 4 sweep, as in you do not lose a single Pokemon from the beginning of the Elite 4 all the way through the champion battle, you get an extra 2 points for doing so. And lo and behold, we didn't just do it once. We didn't do it twice. We've now officially done it 3 goddamn times. Let's go. So we get 3 total points. Now, some of these have been spent on Vanity in the past, but this time, no cigar. No cigar on that one. We take our shiny and Calagon Charmander, as you guys can see over here, and we gave him Ancient Power, because of course we're making a special attacker Charizard if we can. We're keeping him as a special attacker, not a physical attacker. So I had to double down on that, and I said, you know what? We're going to give him the Egg move. We're going to give him Ancient Power. It's going to be quite useful having and of course the bonus is nice, but a 6100 rock move from a special attacker can come in such clutch, so handy here and there. This is not going to make or break the team. This is going to be like, oh yeah, now we're cooking with gas, now we're cooking with fire, now we're cooking with propane, whatever saying you want to use. No, this is just a clutch move. It's a good secondary move for our monotype fire type, you know what I mean? You know, because other than getting special attack, not aerial ace, the other one, air cutter, we're pretty monotype when it comes to Charmander, realistically. So Ancient Power is a good clutch move here that we had from our list off on Cerebi. Then we move on to our, of course, Nidoboy. Nidoboy, who's our special attacker, of course, Sheer Force Extraordinaire, who gets special attack IV. There's a good damn reason for that. Special attack IV, because it's Nidoking. Nidoking with Sheer Force. I'm just saying, a Nidoking with Sheer Force, mwah, chef's kiss. So, special attack IV at 31. We're good to go, right? It's gonna do the most damage. We're gonna benefit the most from this. And then finally, with our newest addition, Swablu, we are going to get the calm nature. We're changing the nature to calm for the special defense boost and all that stuff because, of course, a very bulky Pokemon. So we decided on making a nature change in that one. We didn't necessarily need to do an IV, a move, and a nature. It's just, it happened out that way. So, but that is the bonuses we chose for this leg of the run, added on to all our other bonuses, of course, for the rest of our team. That being said, I mean, we looked into quite a few of Trico's Dragoons there, and nothing really stood out. Nothing that we majorly needed. Nothing that was missing from the team. So we opted out to grab the nature of Calm for Swablu instead. Shinon. So yeah, either way, those are the bonuses we gave. Those are the rules for the GenLocke. Now let's get started with part 1 of Pokemon Pearl, the GenLocke Challenge. Alrighty, so here we go into Pokemon Pearl. Let's just get right underway with this. So you guys already are, I assume, a little bit familiar with how I do these GenLocks and how I've run my teams thus far. Though I am worried about a couple of things. Number 1 on the docket. Number 1, Cynthia. I am actually worried about Cynthia because I don't have a great answer. I was already doing calculations long before I started this. I've been doing calculations and I don't have an easy answer to her Garchomp without getting some different Pokemon. And I don't really want to change up our team in that regard. You know what I mean? So I have a couple scenarios that may or may not work, but it just depends on what she does. But I really feel like this is the end. This is the end of our streak of getting our double points at the end of an Elite Four. I really don't see myself. I might be able to beat the Elite Four with 6 Pokemon. But to beat Cynthia clean, no sacrifice to a Garchomp, no bad Earthquake switch in, no, you know, because this thing has like Dragon Rush, Earthquake, and a couple other things, and it's just like there's nothing on my team that can just keep tanking. It can't. Nothing on my team, as far as I know, can tank more than 3 hits from this Garchomp, or more than 2. So without a chance of a KO. So I think at 2 KOs, everything roughly its level. Granted, I don't have the proper stats, and the Pokemon calculator can be wrong at times and stuff, but yeah. This is going to be our toughest. I think it's our toughest Elite Four yet. Surprisingly, Gold was the easiest. Though the battle against Red, we did do a lot of grinding, of course, and stuff like that for Red. But Red's team, Red's the strongest trainer, you know, as far as level and move types go and stuff. But Cynthia has the highest AI and definitely has that goddamn Garchomp. I mean, if you bring the answer, if you can bring the right answer, but in Nuzlocke, you don't have that much variety. You don't have that much of a choice. So, also, we end up calling our rival here, whose normally name is not Wally. What is your name, Nori? Barry. We call Barry Zell as an ode to Final Fantasy VIII, because Zell was also a boom, 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 energetic guy, let's go, like, haha, like, I'm ready to go, dolphin blow, boom, you know, and all that stuff, you know. So, he was always that kind of guy. Or did he do dolphin kick? Tifa did dolphin blow, he did, or one of the, anyways. So yeah. We normally, as always, we name ourselves Griever, yada yada yada, and we move on from there, but we do call our rival, Zell as a quick ode to Final Fantasy VIII. But yeah. You know what's funny? Is that I'm talking about, right now, I'm talking about facing Cynthia, when there's some other things like, the reason I've lost 2, a Platinum and a Diamond run, which is why we're playing Pearl, because it's the third time's a charm, run, is that I have lost this Nuzlocke twice. On the same rules, the hardcore rules and stuff. I haven't lost a regular Nuzlocke at this game, but I did lose the hardcore Nuzlocke once at the Spear Pillar, and the other time was, I believe, against... Who did I lose? I think it was in the Elite Four, but I don't think I got to Cynthia. Either way, I've never faced Cynthia in a hardcore Nuzlocke of this game. I've only attempted it twice because I don't really care for Gen 4 that much. Though I love the remakes, which is funny because fans of these games love these games and hate the remakes. I think the remakes are far superior. I think that the remakes on the Switch are right up there. Now we take Chimchar here because I believe our ID ends between, once again, between 4 and 6. I think it's a 4. But yeah, we take Chimchar. As a result, I think we already checked that, but yeah. So we take Chimchar. Not that it's gonna, I mean, it could relatively matter. Once again, on our team, we have Sceptile from, and stuff. You could lose Pokemon, Hopefully we never lose our Caligon, our first Pokemon ever, and who has stayed with us now is in his 4th leg as a Hall of Famer. But the worst can happen. So, yeah. But we definitely take Chimchar with us. Zell takes Piplup. And here comes Dawn to basically be like, you stole our fucking Pokemon? What are you, Team Rocket? And there we go. So, we do a little more chatting and stuff. And I think the reason that this particular video, the way I edited it, is that there's a lot more story scenes involved as the games progress, and I try to include them a little more, like the story scenes and stuff, not just battle, which is great for you guys to watch and so that I can ramble a little more, but at the same time, sometimes I'm like, oh shit, what do I say here? Well, we're just waiting for the next part. Yeah, so already, yeah, because I did that in Emerald, because of course there's some really cool Emerald scenes, with when you do Emerald, with Groudon and Kyogre and stuff like that. I used to call him Kyogre, or Kyogre, and then I found out it was Kyogre. So there's our little Copper, our Charmander, and Caligon, who's of course a shiny, who now has Ancient Power, which is great. There's Shinon, our Swablu, who has a calm nature, which is fantastic. There's Heracles, our Rhyhorn, who has been our rock, quite literally. He's always been very strong. Needleboy, our shiny Needleboy, has a serious nature, but I believe this is where he got his, whatchamacallit, and there's Dragoon. So, we have 2 Hoenn and 4 Johto and 3 Kantos. But of course the Johto part doesn't last for long because we automatically give 255 friendship to all of our Pokemon if they're a Hall of Famer, because we can make the assumption that they fucking love us. So, yeah. So we immediately evolve Pikachu. It makes it easier for the ROM hacking thing, by the way, because if you say hatched and stuff, like, sometimes I have to play around with that for a long-ass time to make it work, you know what I mean? And I'm just like, listen, I just want to import this team as level 5s into here. And sometimes it's not so easy. Just depending on, oh, well, where did you meet? Does it matter? Apparently it does. The ID number doesn't match up. Fan-fucking-tastic. So either way, Rowan here gives us our Pokedex, does all that fun jazz, and talks about Zell a little bit there, and says you can nickname your team, blah blah blah, and we're just like, yeah, no, we got our 6 guys, we got our Hall of Famers, and we're ready to go. Some veteran Hall of Famers on the team, like Rhyhorn and like Heracles and Copper and Caligon and stuff like that, Needleboy. And then some new additions. We have our newest Hall of Fame additions, which of course is Shinon and Dragoon. I'm kind of like, once again, you're always upset when you lose Pokemon. So we lost some heavy hitters in Emerald. You know, we did almost a perfect, I think we did a perfect run of Gold. Which is crazy because you get 16 badges and have to face Red. But we did a perfect run of Gold. We didn't lose a damn thing. We lost Raticate, I believe, in Red. And now we're starting off this with some Hoenn stars, but we lost we lost Psyduck, we lost Wild Wing. That was, damn man, that was huge. Losing him, because Wild Wing was our late game MVP. Really was. He was our late game MVP. And we lost him, and that was like, what am I gonna do for a water type, right? So we never really picked up another water type, as you guys can see. We never did. We lost Wild Wing in the 7th gym battle of Emerald, I believe. And yeah, that was a pretty hard blow. That certainly was a hard blow. Now here we catch ourselves a female Shinx. It's our first catch of the game. Lucky to get a Shinx too. Not that we need another electric type because we already have one. And we decided, because it's sort of like a cat tiger thing, we decided to call this female Shinx Yoruichi Bleach. I think I spell it right. I could be wrong about that, though. God knows. And now in the Ravaged Path, of course, I assume we catch something else. I'm going to make that assumption. And lo and behold, it's a Zubat. Okay. I mean, I'm fine with it. Aren't you guys? And a Leech Life before it was good is not gonna do a whole lot to us. Sorry to say. Really sorry to say that. So Heracles here does his thing, and we managed to catch a Zubat. Which, what Batman name are we gonna name a male Zubat this time? We go through all the Robins and all that fun jazz, so I am curious what we called him this time, because of course I played this like a month ago or so. Bruce. Oh, just straight up Bruce. Straight up Bruce. That's what we're gonna call him. Just Bruce. We haven't called the Zubat Bruce in a while, apparently, so it is what it is, right? Yeah. So this is our first rival battle, which is all good, because we got copper and stuff, right? So we're doing fine. Though, yeah. And against a Starly right out of the gate. So, I mean, clearly I looked this up. I knew what we were facing. And luckily, Static worked right away on Starly. So, the little bitch, I mean, may or may not be faster than me, but due to the quick attack, there's no way to know. But yeah. So we go for the Thunder Shock. 2-hit KO, easy. So even if we do take another quick attack, it's going to be fine. I don't know what I'm waiting around for here. Starly is paralyzed still, and we use a Thunder Shock, so we do get the 2-hit KO kill. And there goes the Starly. Now, of course, he's going to bring up his Piplup. The thing is that here is an example of why I miss Apollo. our other big loss from Emerald, our other big loss, was Apollo, our Mankey, or our Primate, because Steel type. This thing is eventually going to become Steel type, and, you know, as the games evolve, the move pools get even better for certain Pokemon, and I mean, U-turn, Brick Break, all these things are like readily going to be easily more accessible and readily available for a Pokemon like Primate. Primate is a great Pokemon. The further you get in the games, like, yes, he was good in the first gen. He starts to slack off by gens 2 and 3, and then he starts on the rise again, but here by gen 4 when he had the special physical split. And he's gone. Really unfortunate, in fact. But yeah, either way, we do beat, I mean, a couple more Thunder Shocks, no big deal. This is a water type at this point, just straight water, no steel. Not that it would have mattered, but we do defeat our rival in the first rival battle that we truly get. Even before our first gym. So there you go. And everybody's all good because we already had our first evolution in Pichu to Pikachu. And now I believe this is our next encounter, which is a Starly that we can capture. So we're looking at this and we're like, alright, what are we going to do? Well, a Thunder Shock's going to kill the damn thing. So what do we decide? And Calagon. Interesting. Ancient Power will kill the damn thing too. Or are we just going to go for a Scratch? Growl will lower the attack. It would actually probably be good to do a Scratch. Yeah, that's what I do. Okay, I'm going for decent damage, but not kill damage, which Scratch is. Even with the Growl, does a third of the HP. So, one more of those, and we should be off to the races. Okay, and now just, once again, we have been following the Pokeball rule, by the way. Gifted Pokeballs count, anything we find counts, but only 5 Pokeballs of any description are allowed to be bought at each city's PokeMart one time. And that's the limit on your Pokeballs for the Nuzlocke, for the whole challenge. So if you run out, you run out. Actually, this only eventually, because the games become much more hand-holdy, this only becomes an issue in the early gen games, like first and second gen. Outside of that, the 5 Pokeball rule could pretty much be ignored and still be fine, because you're gifted a lot. You're gifted a lot of Pokeballs. So I call this Starly Longclaw because it's female after the Sonic movie, I believe, which the character of Longclaw, I believe, is introduced. I don't think Longclaw was a Sonic character before the movie. I believe it was made for the live-action films. But I like Sonic and Sonic 2. I think they're great fucking movies. There's some things I would change, but overall, I love those movies. I think they're great Sonic movies. And I think it's the best marketing tool of all time when they released that trailer. They knew they didn't have Sonic right. They released it to the public. The public fixed it. The internet, Twitter, DeviantArt, all those people, they fixed Sonic. And then they went, yeah, okay, let's copy what they did because that's what everybody loves. You worked for free, people. You got played. And it was hilarious because that's how I would do it. That's how I would do it if I didn't know what I was doing. So with Heracles here, we are attacking a Geodude that we found. So, in the path to, I believe, Rorik City, which is Oberog City, something like that. Oberg, something like that. Either way, the first gym town. And Geodude was caught. Perfect. So what are we gonna name him? A male Geodude. You know, I don't think I've ever named one Brock, which seems like, but I think Brock's more associated with Vulpix and Onix. I guess we're just going to name him Drago after Rocky 4 instead. Okay. Usually I reserve that for my fighting types. Odd. Okay, now we're ready for the gym apparently. So, boom, we're into the gym. We've probably done everything else that we needed to do. So, let's jump into it. Why am I waiting here? There we go. Usually, see, I do a lot of waiting in-game because I'm like, okay, if the fade doesn't work or there's too long a cut or something like that. So I usually take my time with when I know that I'm going to be splicing it together. But still, sometimes I clearly wait way too long. Because it's too short for a piss, not long enough for anything else, right? So, if it's like a 45 second to like a minute and a half, then you know that I screwed up in the in the editing, and I went to take the bathroom and come back, right? But yeah, we got Needle Boy, our shiny Needle Boy out here using double kick. He learned double kick at level 11, or I don't know when he learned it, but yeah. And that critical hit, yeah, it probably mattered by the looks of it, but either way, yeah, we get rid of a Geodude. Cool. Because remember, we might have a fire type, but we also have Trico. We have 2 starters. It'll be funny if by the next game or 2 we get a water starter and all 3 are on the team. That'd be kind of cool. Having 3 different generational starters on the team. That'd be kind of cool. I'd be good with that. And here we go. To the second trainer of the gym. There's 2 trainers and a gym leader. So the early game stuff, yeah, we have to pick up the pace a little bit stuff because we do all the story shit like, oh, this is our first capture and this is our first Pokemon and look at us evolve and blah 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 and here's the story and the rival battle and yada yada yada. But once we hit the ground running, we'll like run through like 3 gym leaders in one video, you know? So let's see. Oh, and I saw that little mouse glitch. I must have run the mouse across the screen. It must have been, I thought it probably was showing up here, so I probably ran it down here. What am I waiting for? So isn't it funny, that very thing just happened. Where, I sucked at editing, or I missed it at editing. I must have, you know, I had a quick break, and we were sitting on the screen for about 2 minutes, and I'm sitting there going, you know what I mean? Like waiting, like, when are we gonna move? Doesn't take that long. It's a Geodude. We're going to double attack. It's not that difficult. It's not that complicated yet, you know? We're not facing Cynthia quite yet, right? So, but yeah, it's funny. That happened in my first, so it's a, that's my own editing skills or checking it and stuff. But I have to go through a lot of footage, right? I go through a lot of footage, and when I see a gym battle that's only like, alright, it's about this long and stuff, I'm like, yeah, that looks about right. And when I'm skipping through, like, sometimes I miss stuff, and it is what happens, right? But alright, I mean, we cut it out, it's fine. It's fine, right? Nobody saw anything, there was just a slight fade into the next part of the video. Ooh, you didn't see anything. It's called movie magic. But now we face off against the Onyxers. Once again, Needle Boy is cleaning up against these trainers, which is what we basically were hoping for. Is that Needle Boy with double kick was going to be able to basically take care of the trainers without issue. Takes a bit of damage here, more than I think I expected. I thought double kick would do better. But that being said, we also gave him an IV, not for attack, but for for special attack, because, you know, he is who he is. Granted, I think his IV is like 19 or something for when I was checking the stats. I think it's like 17 or 19 or something. It's not a bad attack IV either, and naturally they do lean towards attack at this stage, so you know, it's not like a special fighting move would have done much better with the same power. But yeah, so at this point, Needle Boy is definitely, as you can tell, you know, bringing in a bunch of level 10s, has done his work and stuff, and so now we face off against our first gym leader, Rorik. Let's go. Let's see what trouble we can get into against Rourke. For this one, I'll even sit up. Okay, so Geodude level 12. We start off with Dragoon. Makes sense because we have Absorb. Which is going to be, of course, incredibly useful because when this thing survives even one hit, we're going to recover just that little bit of HP. It will make all the difference. So, almost a one-hit KO. We knew we weren't going to get it. The thing uses Stealth Rock. Okay, and a potion, but that's actually good in a way because, alright, so it did no damage to Dragoon. So we got rid with killing the Geodude without taking any damage. Fantastic. But Stealth Rock is on the field, so we got to be wary of that just a little bit because chip damage is a thing. Even in PvE, I guess is what you would call this. It's not, you know, it's still damage. So we grow instantly to level 12, which is great, and now an Onix. Of course, we're going to be able to 2-hit KO this thing as well. Doesn't bring out the Cranidos yet. And here, oh, maybe not. I'm not as tough as I think, apparently. A Rock Throw thankfully misses. Not that I don't think it would do crazy amount of damage, and the Absorb would cover most of it, but still. Alright, let's assume that was a low roll. Yeah. And we get it. So we get the 2-hit KO in the Onix. And this should boost us up to level 13. Yep. Perfect. I know the extra screen is covering it, but I didn't want to make it so small that you guys couldn't see what I was doing. And now in comes the Cranidos. The one that... an early Pokemon to end a lot of perfect Nuzlocke sweeps, in all honesty, without the right setup. So we go for the Absorb, but it's only going to be ×2, and yeah, it's going to be 4 hits. Absolutely 4 hits. It goes for the Pursuit to start, and that does quite a bit. Thankfully, with Absorb, we're going to drag some of that back, and we should, if this keeps up. Granted, he could have another potion. And if he uses it, that might be different. Because I think that was a high side Absorb. And that Headbutt is going to... Whoa! I'm bold. I'm going for it. Thing does have a potion. I go for Absorb. Which is great because now I've put him in range of one more Absorb kill. Do I risk it? I do, knowing I'm faster. But still, a little scary right there. A little scary. And, oh shit. Does not actually kill. I get the lowest roll possible. Headbutts me. I'm down to 2 HP. Holy shit. And I was scared right there. I went, oh no. When I saw the headbutt, I said, Trico's gone. Dragoon is done for. We survived on 2 HP. Our luck. That was just straight luck. We didn't play that right. We didn't play that right at all. But we won it. We did win it. So there we go. Dragoon goes to level 14. And we defeat Rourke. So, fan-damn-tastic. And obviously this is done at around midnight at some day. Probably a Friday if it's midnight. Or if it's... It could be a weekday. It could be, because usually like I'll play until I finish something and then I go straight to bed. So maybe it wasn't on a weekend, but... I mean, if I save right after that. Yeah, I probably did save right after that. So that could have been any day, honestly. And now we're into the Valley Windworks. Straight out of here. And we run into our next encounter that we can capture. And it's a Weasel. A lot of people don't like Floatzel. I don't get it. He's literally, I think, my favorite water-type Pokemon of Gen 4. trying to think. I think he is, yeah. Yeah, I like him. I like Luminion too, but Floatzel's one of my favorite. I don't get why people make fun of Floatzel. Floatzel's awesome. He looks cool. He looks intimidating. He's pretty badass, you know. He's cute, but he's badass, you know what I mean? So, and Weasel, I mean, Weasel's cute as shit. So, we're using Shion here, who hasn't leveled up at all since the gym battle, because I'm learning something very quickly about Swablu's, because I haven't really used Altarias before. And raising them up is a bitch. Okay? This thing eats 3 times the amount of experience to get 1 level as a normal Pokemon. And its stats, its attack and special attack, suck so bad, and it doesn't make up for it enough in defense that we can't do any real damage to the damn things. So raising it and trying to give it experience has been a very trying matter. It just has been. Well, it certainly hasn't been easy, I'll give you that much. So either way, we do, with a combination of Sing and Pecks and stuff like that, we do capture the Weasel, and we end up naming it by what? Bill. A Floatzel named Bill. Why Bill? I'm sure that's in reference to something. All I can think right now is Bill Nye the Science Guy, but that doesn't make sense. I have no idea why we called him Bill. No idea. But Dragoon is evolving into a Grovyle. So, there we go. Perfect. So far, this is progressing pretty well. I still am confused about the Bill nickname. Bill. Is there a famous Olympic swimmer named Bill or something like that? Bill. William. Will. No, I don't know it. I got nothing. I don't know what I was thinking with that one. And here we go. Nidoboy is also evolving, because we have to go up against... This is where I lost a Nuzlocke before, though. Not a hardcore one, just a regular one. I lost a Nuzlocke in Platinum up against this damn thing, and I wasn't taking any prisoners. Up against Mars here with a Pure Ugly or whatever. Or was it Skuntank in Platinum? I forget. But whichever one I faced, and I said, no, I'm walking in there with a couple of evolved Pokemon. Don't need them all evolved, but level 16 is more than fair. I'm walking in there with them. So I got Nidoboy, I got a Nidorino now, and I have a Grovyle. So we start off with Copper. So level 14, which same level as Zubat. So it's not like it's over leveling or anything, right? It's just like, no, I'm not gonna walk in here with 1 level away from being a way stronger tank, because you need tanky Pokemon. So we take the bite. It does about it, you know, it doesn't do too much to us. But we also get the static and then another Thunder Shock, and it's like, alright. We got this. So boom, no problem. There goes the Zubat. Now there's one thing left. Goddamn Pure Ugly. Per Ugly, I should say, because yeah. So the thing's level 16 just like our guys. Now, I decided to automatically switch out. I'm curious why I didn't go for a Thunder Wave there, but I don't. I'm going into Nidoboy immediately to try to tank a Feint Attack by the looks of it. Which, I mean, still, damn. And we get very lucky with the Poison Point. Instead of the Static, this is even better. We poison the damn thing. So it's only a matter of time. If we have to, we do have potions and stuff because we're already at half health. And we switched out for the double kick maneuver so we can do some significant damage. But look at how this thing is a beefy cat. This cat is so fat. This cat is fatter than your mama. That's right. I said a yo mama joke in 2024. It didn't really work in 99 and it doesn't really work in 24, does it? So, Christ, I'm old. That was 25 years ago. Anyways, so another double kick. Extraordinaire after going down into the red ourselves. The poison won't be able to take care of the rest of that, unfortunately. Bring him right down there, though, to the very brink. So we need to switch immediately. But we know that this thing is going to bring up a potion of some description. So we go into Heracles here at this point, right? Because at this point, a feint attack. Oh, so the thing actually did attack. We can tank anything it can throw at us, but now the poison is going to finish him off. Not an extra potion, apparently. Only one potion used. Boom. And we didn't actually have to do anything. The poison did its job. We were very lucky with that poison point. That made the battle that much easier. So, boom, we do end up defeating Mars, which is fantastic. And now we're jumping into our next encounter, which is Pachirisu. The Pikachu of Gen 4. Pikachu of Gen 4. So, boom. Quick attack. Doesn't do very much. Growl, okay. Once again, do we need one of these? No. Will we ever use one? Probably not. I don't mind Pachirisu, honestly. You know, if I was in a Nuzlocke, I'd probably use one if I had no better options, because I actually like Pachirisu. But we have copper. We're good. And now we got this thing low enough that we can use a Pokeball. And okay, we got it. We caught this thing, a female Pachirisu, the Elite Squirrel Pokemon, not even Electric Squirrel. It's just Elite Squirrel. What do we do to nickname this thing? I'm still confused about the Bill thing. Is that supposed to be a joke for me? Because I'm trying to think, like, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures. I worked with a guy called Bill. I'm just trying to think, where did Bill... You know, there's a guy at the wholesaler who's named Bill. I'm like, where the fuck did I get Bill? A guy in the pool named Bill. Like, I'm trying to think, like, Ocean. Bill. Like, it's from Zelda? No, there's nobody in Zelda named Bill. So... And this is where we're in the forest with Cheryl, which is fantastic because you get all that extra experience, right? But yeah. So clearly this encounter, we either catch the Wurmple or the Bunnery. We have to basically, whichever one's left is the one we get to catch. Poison sting on. Oh, Shinon. You're poisoned, you poor thing. Granted, don't you have natural cure, so it doesn't matter? Like, I can switch out and you won't have it anymore anyways. Clearly we're not going for the Wurmple, because we want the, I guess we want the Lopunny. We want the Lopunny, alright. I mean, why not get ourselves a Lola Bunny? Alright, down to the yellow, that's fine. We're a little bit poisoned. We're probably going to throw a Pokeball at this point. Yeah. I can see that. 100% I saw that. That one was definitely... That one was coming. And boom, there we go. So we caught ourselves a bunnery. And as I said, obviously a female bunnery. What else do you nickname Little Bunny? Lola Bunny. 90s kids, both male and female, sexual awakening. Because there are two types of people. People from the 90s who denied they were attracted to Lola Bunny. And we call them liars. Yeah. So, boom. We also... Oh, at the same point... Or, no, at a different point. And Calagon got to level 16. So now we get Ancalagon the Charmander into Ancalagon the Charmeleon. Hopefully he's not as hateful as Ashes. But this one's gold. Like literal gold in color. So it should be fine. And boom. Right to the second gym. Let's go. Let's go, baby. There we go. A grass gym. I mean, we have a fire type, a flying type, a grass type, an electric type, and a poison type. I don't think we're gonna have much of an issue with this gym. Finding the trainers, obviously, is gonna be a little bit of a bitch, but yeah. Other than that, I think we're pretty. I think we're pretty good. We're gold. We're golden. So let's go, Cherubi, if that is your real name. We're gonna peck this damn thing. Yeah, we're gonna pull Shinon out at the beginning because obviously this thing. Honestly, until it becomes an Altaria, this thing has been a liability this whole goddamn game. It has been a bitch getting this thing even to 19. It can't defend itself. It can't battle for itself. It is so fucking hard to raise this thing, and it gets no gratification because the thing takes 3 to 4 times the amount of experience just to gain a goddamn level. It's painful to raise this damn thing. Like, at least, like, I know dragons are supposedly hard to raise, but Dratini is way easier than this. Larvitar is easier than this. Bagon, they're all easier than this. Seriously. Swablu's gotta be the worst of the bunch because terrible move pool, with no good attacking moves, like no Dragon Rage, no nothing to make it at least somewhat being able to assist. And its defense, while great, is not high enough to make up for the mediocre fucking attack. As, I mean, elevated here, we are 4 levels higher. We're already at half health and struggling against something we're super effective against. Like, when Shinon you become an Altaria, we are going to be fine. But until then, you are such a liability. And I'm wasting all these great experience points on you, trying to get you to that beautiful level 35. And of course, we did go for it to try to get the one quick kill. Didn't work out. We got the drain. So now we have to... So we couldn't even clear one... A flying type, 4 levels higher, couldn't beat one trainer with 2 grass type Pokemon. Yeah. Unfortunately, at this point, I have a lot of contempt for my own goddamn team. And I'm like, ugh. Like, what do we do? What do we do? Because when we get her to an Altaria, I know she'll be fine. So I'm like, alright, it's only a few more gyms, you know, 4 or 5 more hours, Nuzlocke, you know, because you gotta be careful in Nuzlocke, you know, another 3-4 hours, and she'll be there, and we'll be all good. But, yeah, maybe I'm highballing it at 3-4 hours, yeah. Should be able to do it in less time, but I mean, at the rate that this goddamn thing in a safety net of grinding, because once again, I count like deaths. If you're training, if you're grinding and you lose something, sorry, dead game, right? So I always choose a great safety net patch of grass. I usually go a route or 2 under where I'm at, and then that's where I train for a safety net, right? So as far as Swablu goes, by doing a safety net plus the fact that the thing needs fucking most amount of experience of any goddamn Pokemon in the game, just getting 1 level, we're going to be using all our rare candies on her just to, yeah. Going to be doing a lot of switch in, switch out shit, you know. It's going to be bad. Like, here, we're using Grovyle just because, like, we can. He's got Pursuit. You know, he takes the resistance from the grass typing. And look at how well that is working out so far. And we gained experience just fine. And look, we took out 2 and took no damage. And here comes a 3rd one that we're going to take out. Suit. This one actually used an attack. Now you could argue I fought the wrong trainer with Shinon, and I'm like, yeah, but in a grass gym, a flying type should have the advantage. And it shouldn't be, oh, well, the wrong trainer with the grass type. It's not like, okay, you went to a grass gym and you fought all of a sudden a goddamn, you know, a poison, like it wasn't like a wheezing was there. It's like, yeah, it's kind of like a grass. Like, no, you're cheating. Because there are gyms like that. Like, I think in this game, don't you go into the steel gym and there's a goddamn, like, Raichu or something in there? It's like, where the fuck did that thing come from? How is that in any way a steel type, you know? So yeah. But these are all literal grass typing Pokemon, so. Yeah, I don't see how there's any real excuse for Shinon. Okay, 3 trees, and boom, here we go. Let's go. A Turtwig. I like that from this game onwards, they show other, I mean, people tend to forget that in yellow version and in, I think even in red and stuff, they did show in Victory Road other trainers with starters, but it's so rare to see in the games that I think they should showcase that more. And I like that the 4th gen really did showcase that. You see a Turtwig here, and I think like a Piplup or something there in some trainers and stuff, and it's like, okay, you know what? I'm glad that that's a thing. It's like, you're not the only one. Otherwise, these Pokemon are so goddamn rare that you never find them in the wild. You never see them again. You know what I mean? And it's just like I always thought, I don't know if this has been corrected yet, but if these Pokemon were so goddamn one-of-a-kind rare, you would never, ever, like, people would comment on it or something like that, right? So, what I like to think is that post-game, there should be an area where you can catch one of the other ones, right? Like if you have 2 versions, you can catch fire and grass, the other one can catch grass and water or something. I don't know how it would work, but some way, right? Or depending on what you pick. If you pick a grass, you can catch fire. If you pick water, you can catch grass. If you catch, you know, make it a cycle. And post game, so you can get 2, you still need to buy the 2nd title because they're always going to do the double version with version exclusives. But you could get 2 of the 3 starters, right? Because there's no way they're this goddamn rare, you know. Anyway, we did have to switch out to kill the Turtwig, as you guys saw, with Copper here. Dragoon did grow up to level 19, which is nice. But of course, we're saving Ancalagon for the end. We're gonna battle all the trainers without him as far as we can, and use up all our other guys. The only guy we can't really use is Heracles, realistically. We can of course use Nidoboy with the poison resistance, of course, meaning all grass moves are resistant as well. And I think we only have one more trainer before the gym leader, before the boss here. So let's see. Let's just see how we do against Beauty Lindsay and her Rosalia. Or Rosalie. Rosalia? Rosalie? Either way. We do have Peck, thankfully, which not a strong move, but strong enough against a grass type with low defense. And Mega Drain's not going to do shit, so not against a poison type. We're not ground type yet, so it's not going to matter too much. And a Peck critical hit did matter, of course, to get the 2-hit KO. And we get that, and it's fan-goddamn-tastic. And boom, baby. See, that's how we reach, that's how we do things. That's how we roll in the Shire. That's how we do it. So, either way, also, we're going to attempt to mine for stones, but if we don't get them, then we're just going to use the level 36 rule. So when Pikachu and Nidoboy both reach level 36, if I haven't obtained a stone by then, for either one, I'm just going to straight up evolve them. I'm just going to evolve them anyways, because I have enough limitations in the hardcore Nuzlocke. If I was playing a regular Nuzlocke, I'd be like, alright, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just switch them out. You know, or if I was playing like Little Cup rules or something like that, but I'm not, so. We decided to go up against the gym leaders, starting off with Nidoboy instead of Ancalagon, probably just for a buffer. And boom, we start off with a strong Peck here. The Leech Seed takes hold. Leech Seed is something that affects me regardless of my typing, and that's very annoying, in fact. Okay, so at this point I immediately say, nope, and I go into Ancalagon. Now, Ancalagon hasn't seen action this whole gym, but this is his moment to shine. So, she uses Safeguard, which means no burning capability. So Ember's secondary effect isn't going to matter until Safeguard wears off. Now, as last ditch effort, this damn Cherubi uses a Leech Seed. It's damage to me, heals up. I'm immediately going to Ember, thinking I've got this. Uses a Super Potion. So now I can still 2-hit KO, but another Leech Seed. And I'm sitting there going, damn it. So now I'm down to 41 HP. Right? Thankfully, the critical hit didn't matter. I was going to win that one anyways. Thankfully, this means that the Safeguard has only so many turns left. Goes into the Turtwig. Now, Turtwig at level 19 is kind of dangerous, in fact. That Razor Leaf is pretty strong. So I go back into Nidoboy to get rid of course, I need to get rid of the Leech Seed. So I jump back into Nidoboy, who has enough health to tank Razor Leaf or two. Goes for Grass Knot instead. Thankfully, that does even less than I think. Safeguard is now gone, and we can go back into the situation of using Peck. Now, Reflect does matter when it comes to our guy Nidoboy. It won't matter to and Caligon. And in our first Poison Sting attempt, knowing that Reflect is on the field, we do get the Poison. Because Turtwig is not Poison type. Unlike back in the day, most grass types were poison types, and people got very confused by the type chart of what was super effective against a grass type. Because the starter included, all of them were pretty much poison. There wasn't really a true grass type. The only true grass type, I believe, was Tangela. Everything else was grass poison. So the grass type chart didn't really matter much. But now it does. And boom, between poison and a couple of pecks here and there, we're doing ourselves a service. Now, granted, Turtwig keeps using withdrawal, but I already used the super potion once. Gardenia did. So right here, I know the damn. It's so close. It's 2 HP, 1 HP, and I know that she is absolutely going to use a potion. And I'm weighing my options. Do I switch? Do I heal? What do I do? And it's a tough call. Because at this point, never mind. Super potion it was. With all those withdrawals, the reflect. It just wore off, but it doesn't matter. And once again, unlike Toxic, this shit don't stack. So now we're back to square one. The thing has so much defense. And even though Grass Knot can't do much damage, with a couple of critical hits like that, it's got me down to the yellow. The poison just barely carries me to the yellow. I'm back on the pecs, but they're, we're talking 10 hits at least. And a Razor Leaf is probably going to do more than Grass Knot. It does. It brings us down to the red. So we have an opportunity here, because now that poison is just about ready to kill that Turtwig. And the super potions now have been used up. I believe the second gym leader only has 2. Used up 1 for the Cherubi and now 1 for the Turtwig. So what do I do? Do I switch out to Caligon at this point? Do I heal up Needle Boy? I choose to go with Caligon. So the switch goes for the withdraw. That's perfect, because I'm going to be faster. The poison's going to hit him. And then it does not matter what happens. Granted, I could have healed at that point and taken whatever hit he was going to give to make sure that I'm ready for the next one. Because here is the reason I'm being so careful. Roserade. Roserade or Roserade is a fucking 3-tier level Pokemon. Is there, ready to fight. It's also 4 levels higher than me, and unlike my own Altaria wannabe, 4 levels matters a lot. Looking at that right there, a starter with a 31 special attack stat did that. Or did I give him 31? Pretty sure I gave him 31. Either way, doesn't matter. The fact is, it's going to take 3 embers to kill this damn thing. Now 4, and thankfully, holy shit, the Stun Spore missed, because that would have been dangerous. This thing's faster than me. With Magical Leaf, it's stronger than me. The Poison Sting goes for Poison Sting. It does. Look at the damage. Look at the critical hit. Had it poisoned, I mean, we'd be this close to death. Like, see how close that was? Do you see how close that shit was? So there we go. We do reach level 19, of course. But that is what happens right there. Right there, showing an excellent showcase of how, these gym battles, they're not so easy, even with a great team. You gotta play, when you're playing Nuzlocke, You gotta play him super safe, and especially when you do the gym leader challenge like I do, right? If you didn't play the gym leader challenge, it wouldn't be so bad, because then you could just run back to the Pokemon Center, you could heal all up, and then face them full frontal. But look at the state of our team here at the end. It's not great, is it? Now, in our next encounter, we have a Hoot Hoot. Hoot Hoot. Level 14. We gotta catch this little bastard. So we go for the Rock Smash on him. Using a Pokeball. Get him? Oh, we get him really easy. Nice. Noctowl wouldn't be a... I hate to say it, but Noctowl wouldn't be great. You know what I mean? Now, I know Hedwig is apparently a girl, but I couldn't think of another name for an owl off the top of my head. And I wanted to keep playing, so I just went with Hedwig. You know, Harry Potter. So, I went with Hedwig. Oh, and here's where, I believe this is the last part of part 1 here. We fight off against Jupiter. Not Juniper, Jupiter. Commander Jupiter, who has a Zubat that we go against with our Nido boy. Still level 18, I see. Well, there wasn't much else to do. Like, we're still in the same place. We only battled a couple of trainers, so we'd only be, you know, we'd only be a level or 2 higher. Like, it's not like we went through a whole nother town, a route, all that stuff to face off. So now I'm like, alright, this is getting annoying. So we go into Copper regardless of the weakness of HP here. We get bit. Thankfully, Static does its work, and we get a quick Thunder Shock in. Rather than deal with the confused Rang, supersonicking Zubat. And not quite enough to kill it, but thankfully, paralyzed. Paralyzed, no problem. Boom, Thunder Shock, down for the count. And there we go, and there's only one other thing to deal with, which of course, if it's not Purugly, it's a Skuntank. So Skuntank, we immediately go for the Thunder Wave, knowing that we can't poison it, it's a poison type, but slowing it down, Paralysis, probably our best bet. Goes for the Screech immediately. It was risky, it could have went for an attack, and had it done so, Copper might have been gone, so I don't know why I made that risky shot. I have no idea. I have no excuse for that. Maybe I wasn't even thinking at the time, but I lucked out. But yeah, so I go then into Encalagon, who's been now raised to level 20. Skuntank goes for the Poison Gas, but she doesn't get it. We go straight up for the Dragon Rage, which is an instant 40. Rather than trying to fight this thing on its own terms, we're going for an easy 40. This thing can't have more than 100 HP, and it doesn't. By the looks of it, it only has about 80 odd. So we can kill this thing as long as we use Dragon Rage. Like, the early game, Dragon Rage is dangerous. Dragon Rage, I mean, it kills everything. Nothing has 100 HP at level 20, you know? So you're a 2-hit KO for sure. So we go for Dragon Rage again, even with the Citrus Berry and all that bullshit. Doesn't matter. Smoke screen happens. It's like, alright, our accuracy fell. We're hurt by the poison. We got poison gas. But at this point, we got this. But we miss the Dragon Rage through the smoke screen. In comes a Night Slash. A move this Skuntank at level 20 should not have. We're hurt by the poison as well. We're down to 10 HP. I'm really scared. So I do decide to switch. And I'm just like, Yeah, no. I'm not chancing it, because if I miss, I die to poison anyways. So we switch into Grova, we switch into our Dragoon, who tanks a Night Slash, of course. He's gonna tank this. Never mind, doesn't tank it, but I go straight for the quick attack, knowing that I can do a quick attack again. I didn't know that. That was a gamble. What a damn gamble. Like, I did not know that. I had no clue when it came to that. You know what I mean? Like, for those of you who don't get it, that was a joke when I said, oh, I know I got this. No, I did not know that. You know what I mean? So, that's, yeah. That is literally where it ends for that. But I went for the quick attack, assuming I could kill. The paralysis was hacks in my favor. That Skuntank, I don't know what move it was going to use, but if it was any type of attacking move, I was about to lose Dragoon. I thought the quick attack would be enough to kill it. But this thing is so damn bulky, I should have known better. What I should have done was switch out again. I could have just kept doing the switch out until I got a paralysis chance for a heal, and that's what I should have done. I could have played that better. I took ballsy risks that I didn't need to take. They worked out, but I shouldn't have taken them. And that's where the video ends, as I said. So, 2 gym badges in. Beat up on a couple of commanders of the Team Galactic. And overall, what do you guys think? That's the main thing. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comment section down below. Of course, as always, it's always fun to know what you guys think of my content. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe as always. And we'll see all you wonderful Pokemon trainers back here once again for some more GenLocke challenges, because obviously I haven't lost yet. So there is a part 2 of the 4th leg of the run, the Pearl part of the GenLocke, coming to you guys very, very soon. Look forward to it. I know I am. I hope you guys are too. See you back here next time, Pokemon trainers. Have a good one. Sayonara.